It's kind of windy, so I'm probably going to retreat here in a moment into the woods. In fact, I'll probably just do that now. Yeah, I'll do that. I'll get a drink later. Listen to that wind. What's going on, Rhode Island? Happy first day of spring. I don't mind the wind. It stinks for the audio of this stream though, but it is rather windy today. And I was filming for about 2 or 3 minutes and from the left over here, while I was filming, Homie, who is Homie the Blue Heron, was flying by and was going to be landing. Yeah, I started a little early. I couldn't help myself. So Homie went, and actually, he'll usually... Actually, let me get a better view. Hold on one moment. Look at that grass. No, but so what he'll generally do is go and just past, maybe 10 feet past the bend there where we cannot see. He'll start there and then kind of creep his way along this way, and then up in that inlet there, and then down this way. And I've caught him a few times eating over here, snagging fish out of this area here. Me and my daughters call it the bridge. But because I was filming right there, he swooped down and was just about to land, saw me, and took off. I'm curious if it came out on the GoPro or not. And it's also so windy, it kind of blew my GoPro down after that. So, I'm wondering if that's karma. Oh, no. I didn't bring my glasses. So, what we're going to have to do is... Yeah, let's try that. I'm going to trust you guys in the care of Mother Nature. I'm going to put you guys down on my chair and I'm going to go get my glasses. I apologize for that wind. And I hope the camera doesn't get blown over like my GoPro did a while ago. View's good enough. If it falls over, I apologize. I'll be right back. actually surprised it was still standing. Oh, I need to get a drink of water. Put you back down for one more moment. Then I'll check any comments. Let's be on our, let's see, no, let's do the far one for a little bit. I don't know if it will be part of my next stream, and I'm not, I'm gonna show you guys. I'm very upset. Like, normally going out on my walks excites me, and I'm still excited, but this is just, it breaks my heart. I don't know if you can see all that garbage, but I can. I'm gonna try to go to Meijer this evening or tomorrow morning. And I was talking to someone, just because I've gone through places like that, Target, Meijer, grocery stores, and I've never seen those garbage picker up helper things that people get. And my cousin Sherry very astutely told me to look at like the pharmacy section, and I don't have any idea how much they cost. I'm hoping around $15 or $20, but I don't know. And that, in fact, this isn't even, I'll show you again. For a little bit of context, it's very windy, as you can tell, so a lot of garbage does blow and accumulate. But to me, it's not an excuse, but like this kind of stuff, I mean, again, I haven't been out in this water yet, but you can see, in fact, so just for a little bit of context, this place used to be a golf course. And this area that me and my daughters call the bridge was a literal bridge between the golf course. They tore it down. Now these are two separate privately owned places. But my point is, now if you look here, I don't know how well this will come out, but in some places you can see things like pipes sticking out, and these things will drop down from, I mean, you can kind of see there, you know, it dropped down. So I need to be a little bit careful when I go out here, but I want to go and pull all of that out eventually. But I'm going to do a garbage day very soon, because I just hate, I'm sure you guys both get it. But as I say, it was so distinct today when I got out here, it almost kind of soured my mood for a minute. I'm gonna slow down. Should we hear? No. But I want to do something. Oh, that's nothing. I am gonna quiet down for a bit, unless I do something incredibly loud, because occasionally if you're quiet enough, you'll see some fun stuff out here. So, and with the wind, that helps. I hope you can hear me decently. That I was out there filming, and homie the blue heron flew off, and he circled around, and the other route he'll take is he'll land further up where you're looking right now and gradually walk back this way, kind of hitting that same route in reverse. So I was hoping I'd catch him walking back this way. But let's go see. You guys want to go in the water instead? In Rhode Island, I think it was you and I that were talking about. It wasn't long enough, Ninja. I'm going to be, I mean, oh, what is that? Oh, it's a cardinal. Oh, wow. Gosh, there's several of them. I'm going to be making a video later. There's a song by the Gandharvas called First Day of Spring. So I'm going to be doing a little bit of filming out here today. And then also using that, gosh darn it. Just let it burn. You're being very photogenic in spite of my horrible videography. Something just flew over me. Sorry, I moved. Something big enough just flew over me where I saw the shadow. What do you think, Rhode Island? We're at a crossroad here. This way or this way, and happy spring equinox also. This is choose your own adventure, guys. We're at a standstill until one of you make a decision. Do we use the waders or do we use the walkers? I've never been in the water here, so I'm kind of eager too. Oh man, fine. I was kind of hoping to use the waders. But what I want to do is show you guys, because we've been kind of hanging out in, what was oh my gosh, that's the freaking bald eagle. Please go up, please go up. Come on. Oh, I saw your tail. I have a philosophy because I'm left-handed. Left is always right. But I'm actually ambidextrous, but right, I'm predominantly, come on, man. Oh. So I don't know if I've mentioned it. I said I've filmed a bald eagle out here and seen it, but there's an area out here where people say there's a bald eagle, that area they nest routinely. But it's interestingly, I'm ambidextrous, but man, there's a lot of cardinals out today. So anything I do with both hands, I tend to do right-handed. Anything I do single-handedly, I tend to do left-handed. But I'm left eye dominant, which is because I predominantly shoot right-handed, it's confusing for me at times. It takes a lot of consciousness, that controlling my eyes and focus and all of that. Oh. I can shoot both, however. I can shoot both with a handgun. I can throw and catch with both. In fact, oh man. But there's a video, I don't know if I posted it on this channel, but I'm actually on ESPN's top 10 because we were at a baseball game and I was holding Gabby at the time, who's Gigi, my oldest, who at the time had to be 2 or 3, maybe 4. And we were at the baseball game sitting in the sun and she got hot. So she wanted me to pick her up and take her into the shade. And basically, one of the Minnesota Twins hit a foul ball, and holding her, I caught it and was on the news here and all that stuff and made ESPN's top 10, which some of you, Rhode Island, you may not be old enough to know what that is. And I don't know if the ESPN top 10 is even a relevant thing anymore. Correctamundo, Gigi is the Gabby. Man, I was hoping that bald eagle would come back. One thing I do want to go in here specifically for is occasionally, and I don't, oh, I see another big shadow. Can you, let me see. I want to look up, I don't know oysters, clams, or what they are here, but what I think are clams, or I mean, I occasionally see here, and I don't know. I'm trying to look and see if I see any in the clear spots right now, and I don't. But I see them pretty routinely, and I'm curious what they are. They all like cats a lot more than I do. Cats and I, oh, that looks really nice over there. We don't hate each other. We just mutually, I guess, don't like each other. Cats generally don't like me. They avoid me, and I'm okay with that because I'm not their biggest fans. Hey, nothing against them. I want to see how this will come out. I'm generally I use the term anathema, in that I'm the opposite. Like, generally, I always say the more you get to know me, the more likely you are to. Yes, it is. Like I said, so I don't know if that's specifically runoff or again, a piece of the golf course or just garbage that made its way here. These are the things I want to come through and grab. I mean, I want to, like I say, I haven't in about 2 weeks now, but I usually come out here a day a week and pick up garbage. But since they took my thing, I can't do that anymore. Yeah, let's hush for a minute. And actually, it's not very windy too at the moment. Well, it actually is. It's broken up here really well. It looks trashy and I hate it. That's all I care about. I forgot to put on chapstick. And between the wind and the talking, my lips are annoyingly chapped. What's very sad is there's so much trash, and I do it with such a routine that I have an actual routine, which is that I separate, like, most specifically big styrofoam and like water and pop bottles and containers, milk jugs. I do all those on separate days because I expect to do a lot more runs. So I fill a bucket at like a bucket a minute and do maybe 10 buckets because they fill so fast. Whereas when I'm doing the normal smaller garbage, it's maybe 1 or 2 buckets because sometimes it gets too heavy for me, rockin' Robin, to even it gets, if I'm not mindful, it gets too heavy to lift. So it's very annoying. But like I say, I have a garbage routine out here. Look at that. That's like, it's not ice, but it's slush. What would be a good spot? Which spot were you talking about specific? I'm sorry. I'm going to hang out here for a minute. The thing I was zoomed in on it back before. I just was fascinated by the way the sun was reflecting off, so I just zoomed in. It was just the pond surface. In fact, I think there were a couple leaves and water. Yeah. It wasn't on anything, at least that I saw in particular. It was just from right here. Like I say, Was this it? Roughly? I like the way it makes it almost have that surreal glow to everything around it. No one was here, so I was kind of just thinking that to myself. Chasing the sun, there we go. I'm always fascinated by these kind of shots. Reflections just fascinate me sometimes, I don't know. But there's your moss. And you can see it. Is it germinating, blooming, sprouting? I'm not sure exactly what the terminology is. There we go. Sporing out. Oh, I see something I want to check. So, I think I tell you guys, when I'm out here on some days, sorry, maybe a little windy. When I'm out here some days and I don't have buckets or free hands, where is it in here? I will leave wood like that. Where was the other piece? Like that, rested up against a piece of wood just to kind of naturally dry out a little bit. So I like to come and check on those. Let's go see what I have waiting for me next time I get a bucket out here. Ooh. So there is a gentleman, well, a gentleman and his family. I just generally deal with Chance, and I'm slowly collecting wood out here to give to him. Ooh, spider. Yeah, I wasn't looking at you anyway, jerk. I was looking at the wood you were on. Don't be so presumptuous. All right, guys, you ready? Let's see what we got. Yeah, not bad. No, you should keep one as a pet. How was it? I had one for a pet for a while, but never actually played with it. I'm gonna come and take this bad boy for sure. Look at this. Man. Oh, maybe another day. This is not the last time we'll be talking about stuff like this, I'm sure. Oogling at my wood. And I always want to highlight, it almost looks as if this is something I would do to make a trap for someone. But this is the remnants of when the beavers were here. You can see how fine that point is. It's almost, it's kind of eerie in a way. To me, at least, like I say. nest up there. Decisions. Well, that's awesome. I actually kind of forgot that was on here. I was eager to get back out and try to use it. Just watching that wood. Let me see. I'm gonna try to hold still. Stop rocking now. Was there? Yeah, actually. You can do that over there. Just really quick, I do want to kind of limit this stream to roughly an hour because as I mentioned, I want to get in and do that video editing. I'm somewhat anal about certain things, like getting a video about the first day of spring out on the first day of spring and not the day after, but also not filming footage that's not the first day of spring until the first day of spring. So I'm trying to get all that done today. That'd be a good piece for chance. I may bring that back with me. Man, another freaking nice piece. Look at that. Oh man, both of my buckets are full on my porch right now though. If I take that other one, I'm taking this one too. And I don't want to look at the ground anymore. I was debating whether to bring the buckets or not, and literally decided not to because I wanted to avoid taking any wood, because then I get sidetracked like I almost am now. But not today. Crows. Caught my eye. If I weren't streaming, that would be an iNaturalist target. Blue jay. Well, Ninja, just so you know, I debated doing it today, but I opted to do my waders to go in the water. Next time I come out here, I'm going to bring my macro lens and try to have part of the live stream doing that. Just, I mean, even so, you know, things like this. But now picture the other in the stream you and I were in the other day with Simon or Mantis. Those, remember you were saying basically those moss places looked like little jungles or forests. I want to get the macro lens out and start to play around with those out here. I just want to be mindful of the conditions and not dropping them and all that good stuff. And hopefully a day where it's nice and bright and sunlit. So I want to bring in and look at all that with the macro lens. What in the world is this? See, now stuff like this scares me a little bit sometimes. Sure, it's just a toy. Oh, there it goes. But what is this? Oh, it's just, okay. Oh, in fact, see, I wish I had something to collect stuff with, like, man. I do want to be mindful. Again, my phone is here. That's a little bit deeper than I thought. I don't want to go in there right now. Man, I may have to go back where I came from. I think I see. Yeah, I wish I could take that. I'm not going to right now. Check out. We have fluorescent clamshells here too. See that? I see there's 4 people in here, allegedly, unless YouTube is lying to me. So, to the people I have not greeted, hello, hi, hope you're doing well. In fact, we were just talking about this ninja. Okay, it's on behind me. I heard a dog bark, but it's across. This, I just want to take a moment, man, and picture this in a macro lens. And that's what I want to do out here one day. My indicator thing says 4. I don't know. I just don't want anyone to feel left out or unincluded. And you can see those little red tips are the beginning of those spores that will eventually look more like these bad guys. Oh, nice. How did that go? One of my big missions this year is to get a little bit familiar or acclimatized to the trees out here and identifying them. I really want to be able to do that. Yeah, let's go. Let's keep this way. Stop trying to muscle in on my audience, Ninja. They don't want to see your bonsai trees. But I do think that would be neat, by the way. In all seriousness. Just the way YouTube works with trying to recommend. Oh, I thought I saw something across there. What was that bird? The way it tries to recommend things, it's been trying to recommend me occasionally videos on that, like I don't know the terms, but like splicing trees or plants into other plants and trees. There's another blue jay. Man, I'm gonna get some water when I get back. My lips are ridiculous. There is something in there. What is that? Is that just a goose? Oh, it's a goose or a mallard. At least I'm not on drugs. I was like, something looked like it was moving in that water over there. Are you going to my house right now while I'm out here, Ninja? Oh, wait, Ninja. It was you that was kind of tracking me that one day, right? You were kind of messing around with that whole thing. If I'm not mistaken. I feel like I'm getting old. Blue jay. So I want to make sure. I'm on drugs for my back. My doctor's recommended ibuprofen. Well, I think I was wrong. I think of things how I think of them. And while this is actually linked to Clinton River, On the map, if you saw Plumbrook, that's what I think the maps have this as. So I kind of botched that. And what's funny is I mentioned, there was a golf course here that was Plumbrook Golf Course, but now I think you and I were saying on the map across Shaner Road is where the current, I think, is the current Plumbrook golf course is. But if you look on the map, what you're looking at right now, I believe, is Plumbrook, not Clinton River like I thought it was. I think on iNaturalist, it shows coordinates for the pictures. Yep, this is from that beaver a few years ago. Beavers, I should say. And that's all this. You can see they did a number. Hey, Simon, we were just talking about you earlier. Mostly good, but I'm not making any guarantees. This, I think, would be neat with the macro, too. Oh, look at that. Oh, man. Now, this would be nice for a macro. Are these springtails? Or like fleas? Or I should maybe watch out. They may be like fleas, but... I'm sorry, hold on. Are those just black springtails? Simon, you're just in time. I'm very sorry about not being able to get a good shot. Those are freaking tiny. I'm very sorry. Let me try to get a different... Oh, that killed my back a little bit. Alrighty. And for context, let me zoom all the way out. I don't have anything, Simon. I was just saying how I literally left anything to harvest today because apparently I'm really dumb. Sorry I don't have robot hands. Ugh. Man, that's freaking awesome. The good news is, I'm probably going to be streaming tomorrow because it's actually supposed to be several degrees warmer, and maybe I'll come out and grab those guys tomorrow. Yeah. Oh, I'll remember. This is my hangout. Especially in the winter, not so much now, but when this place, oh man, that stinks now that I'm actually thinking about it because winter's just about gone. But on days when there's a lot of snow, I'll come and lay out on these things and just fall asleep half the time. And this is my stomping ground. When the beaver dam used to be, like I mentioned, in fact. So, see, I haven't done this in so long because it almost makes me sad, but I would be here, and that's right where the beaver dam was. They used that felled tree as the base of it, and then what you guys see over there, hopefully, again, I apologize if it's not super clear. I can't see very well because of the brightness. But that's the guts of when they brought a backhoe or digger in and scooped all the stuff out. But right here was like my own little dome of white noise. It was just loud enough where you guys hear me use the term suburbiance, which is with all the cars, the occasional dog barking, or just random thing like that. But just in this area, it was just loud enough to white noise all of that out. It was my own little bubble away from all of that. And I don't think I've actually talked about that, and I miss it now a lot more than I think I usually am conscious of. But I used to spend a lot of time here just thinking. Yeah, it's nice on days like this. And then, like I say, sometimes you'll hear kids playing in the park, depending if I'm further away. There's something going on across the woods. Yeah, that's the price of progress, or as I call it, also the cost of convenience, Simon. I hope we get to the point as humans where we can be more sustainability minded. I really hope that. Yeah, I don't disagree. I just, in one regard, I don't. What was that? The plover? I don't think I'm an optimist. I look at realism. I think if we have the means and the consciousness to do it, you can get most people to do those kinds of things and be aware of them. That's just the problem, is the consciousness and the means of doing it. And as with everything, when people have their face buried in social media and devices, it doesn't help. Which I always find mildly ironic as I say that over YouTube with a device, but I do always also say that everything is a tool. And the example that I use is a hammer. If you give me a hammer because you know I need one to build my house or something like that, it's just a tool. And I can take that tool that's meant to build something and I can build myself a home for me and my kids. Or I can take that hammer and threaten each and every one of you and say, if you don't give me those things that I don't have that I want, I'm going to use this hammer and bash you and your family. And to me, what I don't think a lot of people realize is that social media, cell phones, all that, YouTube, they're not inherently bad. Even if the intentions of the purpose is to collect personal information and all of that, or to shove ads down your throat. It's a tool that you can use to your benefit. It's one of the reasons I hesitate to dabble into other platforms like Instagram and all those other things. But I entertain it because just because I don't like them, they're not the thing for me. If the negatives are something I'm willing to take on personally, then that could be a tool for me. But to some people, they don't need a hammer. They have their house, they have someone they can depend on for a hammer, and that's their decision. Thought I heard something at a PTSD moment. I am sorry. Yep. There were some nice pieces out here. Get off of me. That weed wants to cling on. Ooh, if I can get this would be nice. Oh yeah, look at this. This is very thin. It feels like poplar. No, I don't know. It's very rare for me to find curved pieces like this. Generally, most of them are flat like those. I apologize if it's not clear, so I can't zoom in because I have my other hand on that, on my wood. But man, I gotta leave it in some place that I'll grab it. There we go. I don't see. I was literally watching a video on ways to identify certain types of trees that are able to be identified by their bark. But I want to take notes. It wasn't something I absorbed in the first go. But I want to get some notes together on that. So I'll do that. Who's chirping over there? I want to go get a drink of water. I'm going to ask you guys a question. No one wants to hear about your bug smut, Simon. No, but that is awesome. That's one of the, again, I would have too much anxiety doing that. I like the isopods, they do it themselves. And I don't have to generally worry about them eating each other unless they're dead. How will I Yeah. Yeah, it's funny. Jerk. Crow laughing at me, thinks I'm gonna. Well, in fact, yeah, let's do it there. Oh, you can see a deer has gone through here with their two pronged hooves. So the question is, how many did you lose 21 years ago? If I end up like slipping and falling in, it's gonna be my phone up above my head like a zombie unearthing itself. Oh, that crow's just laughing at me. I don't know if you guys can hear him very well. Crows make me feel very insecure. Oh. Alright. Should I try? Yeah, I guess I'll just try to go up. Ooh, that is quite a drop. I can't see. I may not be able to get up there. Not with my phone. Bummer. I want to go. I apologize for the camera nonsense, but I'm trying to get up this embankment and go see that. It's just not terribly ideal, and I would need to pull myself up with the hand that I'm holding the camera with. So I'm going to retreat for now. Yeah, Crow. Where you at? Come say that to my face. If I had some food to give you when you did, I would, but I don't have anything right now. Yeah. Laugh at my failure. I saw you. You got a hole in your wing. Ugh. Laughing at me. The gall. Hear him up there? No respect. I like crows. So I gotta clean some mud off of my hand. So again, I'm gonna get here, take a sip of water, and then I have a question for you guys. Hey, Sparrow. I cannot, that thing is far gone by now. I apologize, Simon. And the crow's still laughing at me, man. I apologize for the wind. Also, I'm out of the woods a little bit now, as you can hear. I'll try to make this quick and get back in there. Water. Breakfast of champions. Now. Yeah, I was surprised. I saw something very similar about the robin comparison. And it was specifically because I think I mentioned this once before. There's a channel I watch that occasionally talks about invasive species. And to be honest, now I'm forgetting, but either the American robin had made, a flight there, or your guys's bird made it here, and they made the comparison. And I want to actually, let me try to start, because it's... Look at that. What kind of shell is that, guys? It's hard to tell with the wind picking up. All right. So I don't know who is all here, but I want to do another live stream tomorrow, and I want to know what you guys would like to do or focus on. I could do an ecosphere out here. I could just gather materials, gather isopods. Simon, you and I were looking at those Philotia muscorums. What do you guys think we should do tomorrow? I have literally all day. My only limitations will be live stream batteries. And I may even do a 2-session thing. And would like to know what you guys think. Yeah, I could do a macro tour. Again, all that. So now even with that, a macro tour could be session 1. And, look after that. I don't know. I want to know what you guys think. So I will, I could do this. I could do a harvesting session. So with that specifically, I could come out and do more of where I have my containers for. I could get the springtails. I could get the isopods. I always think that's a turtle and it's not. And I'm happy because it's kind of close when I notice it. But I'll read more of the comments. I'm kind of half checking while I'm walking, trying not to trip. And I'm also trying to think of other options. If I missed any. Let me do this really quick. See what I see. I love those the sand rip, and they're really nice on days like this. I mean, it's a little bit windier than I would like, but right now when it's just kind of calm. I would like to make like a hour-long video of just this. I don't know what it is about this that visually is just so engrossing to me. And it's always a combination of the slight ripples, just a little bit of ripple and sun, and I don't know, sand ridges, whatever you would say or call them. But I'm happy. This may be some good weather, and I again apologize. I haven't checked comments in quite a moment. I feel like I'm talking to myself a little, but where are what I'm looking for? Oh, wow, actually. I don't want to get too close, but can you see that little shell swirling around in the water? And those are things I'm talking about that I want to kind of come and gather for my stuff, but that's not. Man, there's actually Now that I'm actually looking again, I don't know if you can see the shells down there, but that's freaking awesome. That's rad. Let me get some zoom going. Whew. Sorry. You saw that one, wanted to get in the picture? That's pretty neat. These are all the little stuffs I want to come out and play with. And Rhode Island, right up ahead here, is where I tell you, just almost, if not right where the turn goes out of sight, a little bit before it, is where I tell you, and occasionally up on these pieces of wood. And when, there's something over there, or is that just the water? It's just the water. Those sliders will generally be here. See, now this is stuff I'm intrigued about getting for my ecospheres. Yeah, there's some of that stuff. I need to and want to get some actual aquatic plants. I'm trying to avoid having to go buy them, which so that was my one question. I'm going to scroll up in a moment, which was about, should have drank more water, what to do tomorrow. So I'll go over that in a sec. I want to do a Patreon or something like that, but I feel really silly, putting it lightly, asking for money. So part of what I want to do is, like I mentioned, part of what I want to do with whatever that works is pick up trash. Like, you guys can pay me to pick up some trash. At least that way I can feel like I'm doing something for any kind of money like that, instead of just begging for it. And that is awesome. Kneel down. Try to let this water calm down. I'm gonna go up here a little bit. Man, I hope this looks as nice as it does to me. I'll move it there. That looks better than I thought it would. So one thing I like to do is get my GoPro out and put it here. I haven't done it in a while because I've been slow. I filled up my hard drive too fast and needed to make room, so I stopped doing that because my GoPro is such a glutton for space. But I would just leave my GoPro and film this until the battery died, which is, generally speaking, 50 minutes or so. Is that a mussel on there? No. But what is that? I don't want to some kind of bulb. I apologize. I know that's not clear even remotely, but it was for a minute. These are things I'd want to come and snag for my stuff. Man, look at that. I have no idea what that is. I'm assuming just some kind of algae, but I have no idea and I want it. This whole piece of wood right here. So one thing I think is fascinating is progression, in that when I used to come out with my walks, it was literally just to get out of my house. I didn't want to stay in there, and going out on a walk is free. And during COVID, so much stuff was locked down, I couldn't go anywhere. So I just went on my walks. Then it progressed to like seeing the ducks, the beavers, and just realizing how much nature was out here. I remember my first video I shot, but I mean my first, like, in terms of what I really liked out here. I walked out here in the same spot. I saw deer, I saw woodpecker, and some other things that was just so fascinating to me. And then I did the video part because I'm like, I need to be able to show people some of these things, because they wouldn't believe me if I told them right outside of my door I'm watching beavers. I don't know if they were attacking or playing with mallards, and I'm stepping on fawns and seeing coyotes chase things. And so then that snowballed to me having to edit videos, because obviously you don't just want a whole 50-minute video for the, 1 minute clip. And that just then snowballed into all these other things. And then Isopod now have me looking at smaller stuff like this. Doing these ecospheres have me looking at stuff like this in different ways. And I'm fascinated at the progression of how I look at the world. You know what I'm saying? Just from the top, bottom down, the way we work, all of that. All because of an affinity for nature that I didn't even know I had. That, again, simply started as me just not wanting to be outside. Now, real quick, are you talking specifically about the one that was back, or are the ones in front of me, or do you want me to go to the ones that I was filming before, Simon? While I'm here, and the sun is at a nice angle too. If this is what you're talking about. So let me see real quick. Give me a moment. Again, I'm trying to balance the fact that this is my phone. Is that... No, not the best. Is that okay? Tell me. Woo, that water is cold. Oh, my bad. Yeah, I gotta get some macro stuff. So is this just lichen? I'm unfamiliar with everything. Ugh. And that's one of the humbling things about all this is the fact that I'm realizing how much I don't know anymore. Oh, I got you. I misread what you set up. Oh, that was just a leaf. Simon, I apologize. Yep. All right, I'm gonna try to get out of the water. Well, I'm not eager. I want to get moving, and then I want to spend time reading, at least a moment reading those comments. And I hope they don't go away, because I don't know how YouTube comment sections work in that regard. Oh, I'm zoomed in all the way. I apologize. That looks ridiculous. Now look at that, man. Just... I'm literally sitting here, and I could just sit here all day and just look at this. It's I don't know. There's no rhyme or reason to it. In fact, Simon, the water may be low enough for me to see that bike. Oh, look at this. It's actually ironic. I was gonna say, look guys, it's a striped clam, but then right next to it is actually some nice what are these, guys? Any help? Are those scallops? These are... So there's the striped ball, then to the right of it there's the dark shell that has a top side up, and to the right of it is the bottom side up. And that's my question for you. I guess I could pull it out. I generally don't feel the need to unless I'm going to take it or do something with it. I don't want to disturb it. Do you think does that look dead enough for me to pick up? At least. And there was a nice one I saw, if I can get it. Hold on. I hope that's a good, decent shot. Those are, so, again, but I've seen bigger ones that look, again, I guess they're similar, but they look more what I thought were long oyster shapes. And again, in my ignorance, for whatever reason, I assumed all of that stuff was saltwater stuff. I mean, I know to degrees we have certain kind of mussels and stuff out here, but I thought all of that bigger stuff was all saltwater. And like I said, there were some bigger sizes. And one of the things I always say that I'm incredibly happy about living in Michigan as opposed to places like Florida or even California, Louisiana, Alabama is there's no gators or snakes or anything I need to worry about that's gonna kill me or eat me in this stuff, which is very refreshing because that looks interesting. Calm down. Because yeah, those are only a little bit larger than your thumbnail. Well, my thumbnail. Again, I don't want to assume the size of your thumbnails. I'm trying to see if I can get... I don't know what kind of path this is, or... That is correct, Rhode Island. We have hognose, even though those are not, they're venomous, but not venomous in terms of their rare fang. But yeah, now everything, now it's funny, I've talked about this, I think it was to Ninja, but I've lived here 40 years and I never knew that there were either of those now. But yeah, as you say, from what I understand, it's more of Midland and just places where we're not really there yet. And anytime we come in and start to change their habitat, they suffer greatly from it and either leave or become extinct in that area, unfortunately. Is this just like an algae way? Like, I don't know another way to explain it, but does that, can you guys see how distinct that is? Or I don't know, again, it's very difficult because of the glare of my camera, but stupid little stuff like that is something I could sit here for 10 minutes and look at and think about and then go and look and I hope not, because I was just sitting right in it. And Rhode Island, you were talking about, I don't recall there's like the fishing method, and that's unbelievable. I'm sitting here literally saying that I'm almost mad in one way, but I'm going to get out right here. I want to show you this. But what was that method called? Life is full of ironies, because I don't know if someone just get this washed up. And I want to make sure there's no hook. So hold on one second, please. So I do not want anyone stepping on a hook. Nope, no hook. Oh. All right, I'm gonna... In fact, it's kind of funny. This is the first spot since I've lived here. I was walking here and I saw a garter snake. And it was kind of that first shot of wildlife that I had. And on Rhode Island, this stretch here is where I will always see those sliders hanging out. I want to say I've seen it at one time 3, just at various spots. Sorry, Sorry, I know that's windy. I try to never be like Simon. It's sitting is horrible for you anyway. I mean physically, and then getting out is one of the best things you can do for you. And I try to get every excuse I can to get out, and especially when I have my kids. I'm gonna try and scroll up a little bit. Now I'm not gonna be reading the current comments for a moment. Try and get you a nice scene to look at while I'm all right. So we can catch springtails and macro. Springtails. All right. So far we're going to collect springtails. A lemon. Thanks, Simon. All right, I think I'm caught up. So, what we'll probably do tomorrow is some of those springtails. I'll probably collect and film some of those muscorums. And I don't think that should take long. And then I can do a little macro lens tour. I may bring a flashlight out. Oh, that was it. If I want to say in my life, now it's funny, like I've said a couple birds I thought were not even in Michigan and then saw them, like the green heron, the kingfisher. But in my life, I want to say I've seen about maybe 3 mantises in Michigan in my life. So I know they're here somewhere. I just very rarely see them. But what's funny is, try to get out of the wind a little bit. Similar with all of these things, like I'm sure now that I'm out and about in the mix of things, I'll probably see 1 or 2. Yeah, like in fact, so Simon, in fact, one other thing. You may have to help me with this, Simon, because what am I thinking? You and I I was in that stream and we found those millipedes, which I thought was hilarious because, again, similarly, I'd never seen any of those millipedes because I had never been out looking for them. But even when I was looking for isopods, I hadn't seen one. So maybe I could grab some of those millipedes too, but I'd have to set up an enclosure for them. Unless I could just throw them in an isopod similar one. I have a couple of those set up, but I think you said they were more drier or leafier or kind of like airy. I'm not sure, but okay. Yeah, and I couldn't tell you. If I saw a praying mantis here somewhere, it had to be 20 years ago. at the very least. Sorry, I know it's windy. Yeah, I don't think I would have them in with isopods. Unless there's a reason, unless they benefit from it. If I had a larger enclosure where there would be less, or there would be more independent habitation options, I would do that. But immediately, I thought I saw a coyote. I would just kind of give them their own thing and let them do their work. Maybe obviously maybe I could just throw some of those black springtails in there. Make it a completely natural Michigan environment. What is that? Oh, anyway, Simon, something I was talking to you about my neighbors. Landmines, yep. I've seen a couple what I would just consider run-of-the-mill springtails before. I've never seen those black little, they look like Stay Puft Marshmallow Men or something like that. I was laying down some of that knowledge on Ninja Kitty about detritivores and what they do and all of that good stuff. I'm going to put this down for a moment, and I'm actually going to do a little something for myself. All right, guys, fire in the hole. Don't be scared. It's just my celebratory pop that I get. Something just dawned on me. All right. Oh, all right, I got a question for you, Simon. Hopefully you'll be here or see it when you get back. I have this container on me that I normally have for isopods, but it has these holes in it, and I'm debating if I should go throw some springtails in here. I don't have a paintbrush on me. It's in my freaking pants, though. So I don't know. What are your thoughts on that, Simone? Ignore the label. There's no dubia roaches in here. Actually, it's a little drier than I would like it, but I'm not very comfortable with those holes in the sides. I don't know. Let's go, actually. Do you think that thing would be suitable that you saw? Oh, okay. I'll have to see about that. That sandwich thing is for my GoPro, so I'll have to see about that. I think I may just do it tomorrow. I'm that kind of person where I'm a lot more comfortable with things when I have a plan. But we'll see. I just remember that was in there as I was going to grab my pop. Oh, I thought you were already back. Sorry about that. So I am already about an hour and 38 minutes into my hour-long stream. So I'm going to say about 10 or 15 more minutes hanging out. That's actually... really nice. So yeah, about 10 or 15 more minutes, then I have to go do 2 or 3 videos. And I guess I'm supposed to probably eat. People say that's good. Yeah, I don't listen to any of that. Time is just a suggestion. Unfortunately, today is not that day with this wind, but on some days when it's really nice and calm and hardly any, if no wind, it's just days like this you can get such a nice shot of the sky reflecting off of the water, and it's just almost like a mirror. It's really awesome. I don't get to record that enough. Oh, Simon, well, I guess if you're not here, you can't let me know when you're back if you can't hear me saying that because you're not here. Oh, man. We'll see. I can hear a dove off to my right. I know what we'll do actually. I'm gonna go put my feet in the water. And you guys can sit here with me. I hope you pick up some of that stream noise. But I don't want to put my phone too close. Let me know if you're back, Simon. I have a question for you that, as I said that, I just forgot what the question was. But now I remembered, so it's all good. Are you sure you're back? But if it will help, if you're eager, what I will do is I forget to do it. Generally, I do anyway. Uh-oh, is that a hole in there? Ooh, uh-oh. Anyway, um, I will unprivate whatever it is. I don't know why all streams, at least for me, I don't know if there's an option, but after the live stream, if I don't go and set it to public, it automatically goes to private. And what I can do is unlock that last one where I showed you those muscorums. That way you'll have access to it in case I forget or we don't get to it tomorrow, or they may not be there tomorrow if the weather's changed. I don't know. Just that's always an option for you if we don't get to that tomorrow. But it's kind of colder than I would like. I don't want to go disturb them today. Well, it's warmer than it was the other day, though. I don't know. I hesitate to play with isopods if I'm not taking them, because I don't want to ever disturb them and end up having to kill them. I don't want to accidentally kill an isopod. So, but that pod will be there. So, yeah, there you go. We'll talk about it. When I go in to start editing, I'll be on Discord and all of that too. I think I'm going to also, when I go into my editing mode, I usually have quite a bit to do, and I obviously have not, I've been out too much. I haven't done any of my ecosphere videos, so I have so much editing to do, but I hate sitting down. I just hate it. And it's why I try to limit that stuff to nighttime when I don't have really much of a choice, so. Yeah, she's hungry. Is that red-breasted blackbirds? Red-winged blackbirds? I forget. I hear you guys. We'll see, Simon. I feel very, I don't know, I'm very hesitant to focus on growth. It's not, I don't mind growth, but it's not a priority of mine. And there is actually part of me that wants to avoid avid growth, because if I could dummy it down, I believe we as humans have bandwidth, and I don't have very broad bandwidth. I like to respond to all my comments. I like to be personal. And I think so much of that could be a distraction from things. I worry about it, is my point, but I don't know about it's just, I always say I never want to get, quote, big to where I can't respond to you guys, read all your comments. I mean, you know what I'm saying? Like, do all that stuff. And I always worry about that. And it's very similar with isopods in that we talk very often about how all this is different for so many people, why they do it, how they do it, what they enjoy about it. And I don't think you'll take this the wrong way, but it could be misconstrued, but I'm just going to say it. Like, I could never do it how you do, where you just kind of water them and go. Like, I just mean my brain and it doesn't work that way, because I'll pull my guys out and I'm like, I'm just going to feed them. And then 30 minutes later, I'm still in my first bin staring at them, watching, just sometimes filming them. And I don't want, like, with isopods, I don't want to get too many to where I can't do that. I don't want to get too many projects going on to where I can't do, focus on the things that need attention and focus. I never want to get lost in that. So we'll see how that works. Like I say, I'm not, it's not a priority. It's something that if I would prefer to happen slowly, because I want to adjust and not have to deal with one massive adjustment, if that makes sense. Like, I couldn't imagine just right now, being that, that big, or when it, whatever. And, like there's, even now, for example, just doing my ecosphere, and with the weather being nice, I've neglected my channel in terms of isopod content. And I'm sure people get it and understand, but at the same time, I like isopods. I love showing them off. I love getting the macro lens out, doing the time lapses, but all that just takes time. Then throw in my kids and all that, it's just, I don't ever want to lose hold of all of that. And I'm very hesitant and nervous about all that. But we'll get there, I'm sure. I don't know. I'm very hesitant about all that. Yeah, and that's one of my issues, is I get, it's either attached, or, let's say plants, for example. It's just, well, there's two aspects of it. One is, I went to English Garden, and plants are like 10 to 20 or $30. And if I fail at that, I've not only failed, but I basically just threw away $10 or $20. With the exception is if I learned, like, oh, the soil was too much, I watered too much, I didn't this, the lighting was that. To me, you pay lessons, you pay to learn lessons in reality, whether, oh, those are just geese or mallards. So I don't mind. It's just, I don't have that money to spend sometimes. And like I say, it's why I'm trying to look at a lot of this stuff like, and treat them like investments, even if I do enjoy them, because I don't want to be wasting money. It's one of the reasons I'm eager to learn how to more adequately propagate plants, so that way when I get a plant, I can clip here, clip there, and even if that plant goes, hopefully I don't suck so bad that I couldn't at least keep those things going, and eventually I can, hopefully propagate those into full plants. Those are just things I'm trying to consider with all this going on. One of the things, yeah, and I'm eager to get to that point too, Simon. I'm more mallards. I want to get my kids involved, and I'm thinking, different people have responded to different things, and I have 3 kids that I raised the same to a degree, but they're all different, and I'm trying to also not push them into something, more so if they don't enjoy it, because even if they don't enjoy it, they can do it and have fun doing it for a bit. One example is, like, I know my middle daughter, is asking to do stuff around the house to make money so she can buy stuff on her video games. So I'm going to ask her to come out and help me collect wood and things like that, to hopefully get her out here looking at things. And even if she sees them as an introduction to money, she has that connection with nature, whether she knows it's there or not. My youngest one, my Bobo, she'll just come out here. She doesn't care. But Gabby, my oldest, Gigi, just doesn't like this stuff. It's, well, she doesn't mind it, but she's older and she wants to do what she wants to do, and I get that. So it's kind of balancing all of that. Tabby Gabby. But I definitely don't want to like put a gun to their head and like, let's go have fun in nature, girls. Enjoy it. Because that's, not the way life works. In fact, see, this is one of those moments where I'm happy. I think of something that, a connection I wouldn't make, but one thing I do want to do is, at least with my oldest, see if she'll get that iNaturalist app, because I think for her, it would be fun to come out here, and if she sees a bug or a plant or a flower, something like that, to be able to interact with that. Oh yeah, definitely. She's growing up. Like I say, it's very, very, very hard for me because I don't understand what she's going through. And I mean in the sense that, like, she's growing away from me and wants to be apart. And it's not like it's bad, it's just natural. But for me, and my situation with my dad, I was terrified of my dad. And the moment my parents split, I never looked back at going there. And it's hard for me to put myself in those places mentally of a child who has to balance being with two parents that they like or love or care about, as opposed to me and my situation where what I'm saying, going to see my dad was not an option. And so I don't know, that I struggle with that a lot, because I don't know how to empathize, or my perspectives are just so different. So yeah, Simon, I always laugh at one of the ironies of being, in my opinion, of being a father is we're raising our kids. Again, if we're a good parent and we're doing it right, we're raising them so hopefully they never need us again. They'll never depend on us again. They'll never have to do any of that. Like if we were to, again, as I always say, get beamed up into outer space tomorrow, they'll be fine. And in essence, you're raising them to one day leave you and do it successfully. And in doing that, you're setting yourself up to be, to some degree, removed from your kid. And it's just a big, I don't know, interesting setup. And which position do you find hard to understand, Simon? I was curious because, again, I was talking about mine and my daughter, so I was just curious in which one you don't understand. I don't understand, like, for me specific, as my dad, I don't, I don't understand him. And sometimes, I don't know where I heard it before, but sometimes if you don't understand someone like that, that's good. Because if you can understand, and I don't understand empathy and sympathy, but if you can just instantly relate to someone doing those things, it's, either something is wrong with you, or you have a lot of life experience where you have the ability to empathize. But the point is, like, I don't know, it's one of the, well, the last conversation my brother had with my dad. My brother invited him to a housewarming party because my brother got a new home, which again my father ended up degrading into a conversation where if you have kids you may want earmuffs. It's not graphic, but he basically just told my brother to go hang himself. And again, like I can't under and what's I guess what always blows me away about my dad is he knows what he did. Now, if how would I say this? If I was the one to punch my daughter, it hurts me to say this, like, because I'd never, but if I punched my daughter in the face, I wouldn't live my life saying that was the past. You need to get over it. I punched you, but that was X amount of time ago. It's not something where you like, maybe said something mean or grounded them, which happens, or took away their allowance. But, if you do something like that, I can't imagine not spending if I did that one time, I can't imagine not spending my life trying to atone for that. But instead, he kind of puts horse blinders on and expects everyone to only see what he sees going forward. It's again, I don't get it either. I had to check. So my dad is, and I don't mean this disparagingly, and I'm only bringing it up. I don't mind saying it because again, you can say a lot of negative things about me. I'm what is it? I'm very assertive. I'm very opinionated. I'm inquisitive. I ask questions that can be misconstrued offensively. And I know that. But my dad has lived his life as a liar. This is just an interesting story. My sister told this to me, and it's just, if I could sum my dad up in a nutshell, my dad had just gotten his recent divorce and was bringing my sister out with a girl he was trying to date. And what he started to do was bash not my mom, but his newest ex at the time, right in front of my sister, and started to tell this story about what his wife was doing to him and saying at a specific event. And my sister says she's sitting there listening to this story and she's getting mad at my dad's ex-wife, just like the lady across from them. And my sister stops and realizes in that moment, she's like, what my dad is saying didn't happen that way. And he's so genuine with his lie that it took me about 5 or 10 minutes for me to understand he was lying about something I knew was a lie, but he's so convincing and convinced about it. And that's just the way he lives his life. And so in terms of growing up in a small city in Hamtramck, he knew all the police officers. He worked for the DPW. So he knew all the city council, the mayor. So he could just talk to the police, and if they got called to the home, and it would be something like, yeah, it won't happen again. Sometimes he'd go to counseling or therapy, but nothing would ever legally be DPW. I'm sorry, Department of Public Works. It's the city unionized, city maintenance people with tending to trees, roads, snow removal, and all that. So he knew everybody. Yeah, there you go, council, depending on that. So, and like I say, so he got out of that. With that, my phone's at 15%, so I'm going to end this in about 2 or 3 minutes. But it's just, and that's where I say, like, I spend a lot of time trying to humanize my dad because he had a lot of issues growing up, and just, I can understand someone, but also say that's still wrong. And I'm not surprised with him anymore because I know that's how he is. And it is what it is. I mean, he's going to die that way with cancer, and He could be dying with his son, his daughter, and his other son, and his grandkids. And he's opting not to. And that, you can't lead a horse to water, right? Or I should say you can't make him drink. And that's the way he's choosing to ride it out. I'm going to wrap it up here. If you have anything to say, say it now, or forever hold your peace until the next time we chat. All I can see is glare from the sun. Today would be the perfect day if it wasn't for this wind, if you can even hear me. I will plan that stream for tomorrow. Thank you guys. I'll be in touch in one of many ways. Go easy, take care of yourselves, take care of the ones you love. Enjoy the wind.